sky was getting darker, and Maddie, and Mom, and Nan, and Felix, and John all got in the vehicle to drive to
Hamilton again, to catch the mayor again,
to drive to Hamilton
to watch
again.
us a big show again
To catch the mayor
today.
again, to watch a big show again.
And then as we arrived, and then we can see all of the people.
And then as we arrive, and then we can
So
see
we're
all the people.
ready to watch the big show.
So we're
And
ready to
then
watch the
as
big
we
show.
get there,
And then as we get there,
and for John we're saying, don't get out of this yet, and here we are.
and John was saying, don't get out of this yet. Here we are. And then we finally got out of the vehicle to join.
Even louder, so you can join the pack of whole crowds in
we can
Hamilton.
Join the pack of whole crowds, including
Pack of
moms, pack of babies, pack of infants, pack of children, pack of newborns, pack of kids, pack of dads, pack of
boys and
aunts,
girls.
pack of boy and girls, pack of uncles, pack of cousins, pack of nieces, pack of nephews, pack of grandchildren, pack of grandpas, pack of grandmas, pack of
Grammy.
Grammys.
Grammys. Grammys.
Pack of Grammys.
Pack of
Pack of grandparents.
Grampy.
Pack of Grampies.
Pack of
Pack of
seniors.
senior citizens.
Pack of
Pack
senior
of senior
students.
students.
Pack of
Pack of
whole worldwide.
whole worldwide nations from all around the world.
Pack of
Pack of African Americans. Pack of
babies.
ladies. Babies
From all
from all around the nations, all around the world.
pack of
African American babies.
pack of
Pack of
worldwide kids.
worldwide kids.
Pack of
Pack of African American kids.
Pack of
Pack of
jobs
jobs
and listener.
and
Listener.
pack of listeners.
Pack of jobs and listener.
Pack of jobs and listeners.
Pack of pets,
Pack of pets,
including
pack of
dogs,
pack of dogs, pack of cats,
pack of dressers, pack of hairdresser,
pack of hairdressers,
pack of plots, pack
pack
of
of pots,
pack of year-olds,
pack of year-olds,
pack of
pack of toddlers, pack of
everyone,
everyone from all around the world.
all gather around
All gather around the
parking lot
in Hamilton, Washington
Hi.
Township High School.
to watch a big a
big show.
And then, when
And
Maddie
then
tells you, don't say bad word.
The mayor tells you, don't say bad words.
And the first pop of the round of the sparkling in the sky of the
And
big
the first
show.
pop of the sparkling in the sky.
And everyone was happy and cheered and go so wildly.
And everyone was
Louder.
happy and cheering. Yay! And going so wild.
And they
Woo!
threw their caves.
And they threw their canes up in the air. And they threw their walkers up in the air. And they threw their wheelchairs up in the air. And they threw their walking sticks up in the air. And they threw their bow ties up in the air. And they threw their scarves up in the air. And they threw their suspenders up in the air. And they threw their glasses up in the air. And they boogied down.
And they threw their aprons up in the air.
And they threw their aprons up in the air.
And they threw their scissors up in the air.
And they threw their scissors up in the air.
And they threw their dresser up in the air.
And they threw their dressers up in the air.
And they threw their clippers up in the air.
And they threw their clippers up in the air.
Ah, tickles. And they throw their bags up in the air.
And they threw their bags up in the air.
And they throw their hats up in the air.
And they threw their hats up in the air.
And they threw their caps up in the air.
And they threw their caps up in the air.
And they throw their rope up in the air.
And they throw their rope up in the air.
And they threw their rattle up in the air.
And they threw their rattles up in the air.
And they throw their
And they threw their beakies up in the air. And they threw their bottles up in the air. And they threw their
bibs.
bibs up in the air.
And they threw their
And they threw their
blood pressure machine.
blood pressure machine up in the air.
And they threw their gloves up in the air.
And they threw their gloves up in the air.
And they threw their
And they threw
package
their
up in,
packages up in the air.
and they threw their mails up in the air.
And they threw their mails up in the air.
And they threw their brushes up in the air.
And they threw their brushes up in the air.
And they threw their belt bottoms up in the air.
And they threw their bell bottoms up in the air. Woo! Yay!
But the second round of the sparkling in the sky.
But the second round of the sparkling in the sky.
And everyone got happy. And all of
everybody
the
got
dears,
happy.
all of the Marys, we are gathering around to a
And all
bake
the
show
kids
in
and all the Marys.
Hamilton.
We're gathering around for the big show in Hamilton.
But the first pop of the giant and sparkling in the sky,
But the first pop of the giant and sparkling in the sky.
and everyone got happy.
And everyone got happy. Yay!
And
Woo,
the second
woo, woo.
round of the sparkling in the sky,
Something's wrong with the sparkling in the sky.
and everyone got happy.
And everyone got happy. Woo!
But the third round of the fire,
But the third round with the firework.
but it scared the child babies.
But it scared the babies.
All of the infants, all of the brown babies,
All of the infants, all of the brown babies,
all of the nation babies,
all of the nation babies.
they're all started to cry,
They all-
especially the higher.
They all started to cry, especially the higher. Wee! Wee! The mom said to the baby, "Don't worry, baby. It's okay. It's just a sparkling show. Look at all the pretty colors." And the baby goes,
But the fourth round fun. Fourth round is sparkling in the sky, but she
fourth
scared the
round was
children.
Sparkling in the sky, and it scared the children. Boom!
Mom,
Mom, I'm so scared. And the mom tells them, don't be scared, my little darling. It's just a sparkling show in the sky. Look at all the pretty colors. And then the kid goes, you're right. Wow.
And Maddie
great."
tells you he was speaking to you. And
Maddie
she
tells you
was,
he
what's your
speaking to
name?
you. Say, what's her name? Anthony. And Stephen.
It's Mark.
And Mark.
And everyone got friendly.
And everyone got friendly.
And all of the friends in friendship gathering around the big show in Hamilton.
And all the friends in friendship gathering around the big show in Hamilton.
And then, when Maddie tells you, Ed's World.
Then, when Maddie tells you, Ed's World.
And then we saw
A spaceship in the sky. Whoa.
And your Home Depot grabs their ladders.
And your Home Depot grabs their ladders.
When the mayor opened the door from his school
and said,
and puts up the ladder and grabs her microphone
and grabs the microphone
and puts on the stage and he says,
testing,
and everyone was
1, 2,
here.
3. Yay! Woo!
Are you ready?
Are you
Hello,
ready?
everyone.
Hello, everyone.
And worldwide
nations from all around the world.
And pet animal.
And
Pet animal.
And pets and animals.
For the
biggest.
I like your uniform.
I like your uniforms. Yay,
And then
thank you.
And Mayor said, are you ready?
And Mayor said, are you ready, crowds of nations from all around the world, for the biggest, most ginormous, spectacular, grandest of the grand finale ever? And the crowd says,
Yes, we are.
yes, we are. Woo! Bring it on. Woo!
But the giant finale starts. So you can, so powerful, so you
And it
can,
was so powerful, you can feel the
Boom.
booms on your chest. Boom.
superpowers.
It was so powerful.
There were superpowers
It
in the
was
super
superpowers.
duper finale.
And a super duper finale.
What is next?
What's next? Are
Okay.
you ready to catch me?
And the whole crowd totally loses it.
And the whole crowd
And Maddie totally loses it.
And Maddie totally loses
Nan
it.
and John totally loses it.
And Maddie and John totally loses it. Woo!
And the whole crowd starts completely wild and loses control.
And the whole crowd starts to go completely wild. They all lose control. Woo! Yay! And they're flipping all around and jumping up and down. Yay!
And the grandparents totally loses it.
And the grandparents totally lose it. And they're doing somersaults and spinning all around in circles.
And the Scrooge totally loses it.
And the Scrooge just totally loses it.
And she grabs and they throw their canes up in the air.
And they throw their canes up in the air. And they throw their walkers up in the air. And they throw their wheelchairs up in the air. And they throw the walking sticks up in the air. And they throw their glasses up in the air. And they throw their bow tie up in the air. And they throw their scarves up in the air. And they throw their suspenders up in the air. And they throw their aprons up in the air. Woo!
And they throw their suits up in the air.
And they throw their suits up in the air. Yay!
And
Woo!
they started to crazy and doing their lucky sounds.
And they start to go crazy and do their lucky sounds. Woo!
And the kids totally loses it.
And the kids totally lose it. And they start to scream and running around. Yay!
Woo.
Woohoo!
And they throw their bell bottoms up in the air.
And they throw their bell bottoms up in the air.
And they throw their caps up in the air.
And they throw their caps up in the air.
And they throw their bracelets up in the air.
And they throw their bracelets up in the air.
And they throw their glasses up in the air.
And they throw their glasses up in the air.
And they throw their necklace up in the air.
And they throw their necklace up in the air.
And she started to doing their somersaults.
And they start doing their somersaults, flipping all around. Woo!
And the worldwide everyone totally loses it.
And the worldwide everyone totally loses it. And they go bananas. And they're jumping up and down. And they're screaming and shouting. Yay, what a show!
And they threw their hats.
And they threw their hats up in the air.
And they threw their scarves.
And they threw their scarves up in the air.
And they threw their robes up in the air.
And they threw their robes up in the air. And they threw their ties up in the air.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah! Ha ha ha!
And the emergencies totally loses it.
And the emergencies totally loses it.
And they threw their batons up in the air.
And they threw their batons up in the air. And they threw
Their
flashlights up in the air. And they threw their handcuffs up in the air.
and they threw their guns.
And they threw their guns up in the air.
And they threw their hats.
And they threw their hats up in the air.
And they threw their gloves up in the air.
And they threw their gloves up in the air.
And they threw their blood pressure machines up in the air.
And they threw their blood pressure machines up in the air. Woo!
And they threw their
And they
bandage totally.
They threw their
Bandage up in the air.
bandage up in the air. Woo!
And they threw their hose up in the air.
And they threw their hose up in the air. Woo! And everybody got wet with the hose. Ah, it's raining. It's the hose.
And the babies totally loses it.
And the baby totally loses it. And they start going wild. And they throw their rattles up in the air. And they throw their bibs up in the air. And they throw their binkies up in the air. And they throw their bottles up in the air. And they throw their stinky diapers up in the air. Oh no, poopy diapers. Oh, gross. Ah, disgusting.
And they threw their blankets up in the air.
And they threw their blankies up in the air.
And they threw their stuffed toys up in the air.
And they threw their stuffed toys up in the air.
And they threw their pacifiers up in the air.
And they threw their pacifiers up in the air.
And she's starting to get wild and goo goo gaga.
And they start to get wild, saying goo goo gaga, goo gaga, gaga.
And the home of Depot totally loses it.
And the home of Depot totally loses it.
And they throw their
And they throw their aprons up in the air. And they throw their levels up in the air. And they throw their measuring tapes up in the air. And they throw their pencil and pads up in the air.
and they throw their nails up in the air.
And they throw their nails up in the air.
And they throw their
And they throw their drills up in the air. Zzz.
and they throw their buckets up in the air.
And they throw their buckets up in the air. Whoa, what a show.
And the Lowe's totally loses it.
And the Lowe's totally lose it. And they throw their aprons up in the air. And they throw their hammers up in the air. And they throw their measuring tapes up in the air. And they throw their ladders up in the air. And they throw their drills up in the air.
Ah! And they throw their lawn cutters too.
And they throw their
And the lawn
cutters
cutter
up in
and the
the air.
lawn cutter is going wild.
And the lawn cutter is going wild.
And the hairdresser totally loses it.
And the hairdresser totally loses it.
And they throws her.
And they throw their aprons up in the air. And they throw their gloves up in the air. And they throw their scissors up in the air. And they throw their clippers up in the air. And they throw their hair shavers up in the air. Woo! So much fun!
And they throw their shampoos up in the air.
And they throw their shampoos up in the air. And everybody gets splashed with shampoo and there's bubbles everywhere.
And they blow their hair dryer up in the air.
And they throw their hair dryer up in the air. Ah!
And they throw their hair color.
And they throw their hair color up in the air. And they throw their hairspray up in the air.
And they starting to and wild.
And they start to go wild. Yay! Woo!
And the fashioner totally
The fashioner totally loses it. And they throw their measuring tapes up in the air. And they throw their scissors up in the air. And they throw their sewing machines up in the air. Woo!
and they throw their ironer up in the air.
And they throw their irons up in the air.
And they throw their beads up in the air.
And they throw their beads up in the air.
And they throw their felts up in the air.
And they throw their belts up in the air. Whoa!
And the hair. Ah, yee. And the candy girl and candy boys totally loses it.
And the candy girls and the candy boys totally loses it. Woo! Yay!
And they throw their candies, including.
And they throw their candies up in the air, including lollipops, Starbursts, Skittles, Reese's peanut butter cups, Kit Kats, jelly beans,
And trolley.
and trolleys
Up in the air.
up in the
And
air.
the starburst.
And the Starburst. Woo!
And they throw their mints up in the air.
And they throw their mints up in the air.
And they throw their candy.
And they throw their candy canes up in the air.
Woo!
Woo!
And
Yay!
the ice cream truck totally loses it.
And the ice cream truck totally loses it. And he throws the rocket pops up in the air. And he throws the Powerpuff Girl up in the air. And he throws the ice cream cones up in the air.
And they throw their pops.
And they throw their pops up in the air.
Yay!
And they
Yay!
throw
Yay!
their- Yay! Yummy!
and the and the and the and the and the hair and the gardener totally loses it.
And the gardeners totally loses it. And they throw their shears up in the air. And they throw their lawnmowers up in the air. And they throw their hedgers up in the air. And they throw their seeds up in the air. And they throw their shovels up in the air. And they throw their rakes up in the air. And they throw their wheelbarrows up in the air. Woo! Yay!
And the sailor totally loses it.
And the sailor totally loses it. And he throws his cap up in the air. And he throws his badge up in the air. And he throws his flashlight up in the air. And he throws his guns up in
And the janitor totally loses it.
And the janitor totally loses it. And he throws his mop up in the air. And he throws the bucket up in the air. And he throws the broom up in the air. And he throws the Windex up in the air. And he throws the paper towels up in the air. Woo! And he throws the rags up in the air. Yay!
And the Stanley Steamer.
And the Stanley steamers totally lose it. And they throw their steamers up in the air. And they throw their vacuums up in the air. And they throw their rug shampoo up in the air. Woo!
And the waiter totally loses it. And the food delivers totally loses it. And the mailman totally loses it.
And the waiter totally loses it. The food delivery people totally loses it. And the
Mailman
mailman totally loses it. And they throw food and mail all over the place.
And
Woo!
pack of foods.
And packages of food are all in there. Yay! Free food! Yummy!
And the Richmond totally loses it.
And the Richmond totally loses it. And they throw their credit cards up in the air. And they throw their monies up in the air. And they throw, and the crowd says, yay! Free money! Let's get it! And they throw their calculators up in the air. And they throw their laptops up in the air. Woo! What a show!
And then the mayor tells you,
And then the mayor tells you,
wow.
wow, what a show! Did you guys have fun?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did! Are you ready to catch me?
Let me hear you shout.
Let me hear you shout. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Yeah!
Are you ready to catch it?
Are you ready to catch me?
The mayor.
And are you ready to catch me? The mayor! And the crowd says,
Yeah.
yeah! The mayor flips up the stage!
And the whole giant crowd starts to run.
And the whole
And the mayor starts to fall down.
run.
And-
And the mayor starts to fall.
And there he is.
And there he is. And the crowd catches him. And they go crazy. Wow! And the mayor is losing. Yay! Woo! And the crowd starts to chant. Mayor! 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 Woo!
And the mayor starts to dance.
And the mayor
Louder.
starts to dance.
In the parking
crowd-
lot.
in
And the whole
parking
crowd
lot.
starts to dance.
And the whole crowd starts
Louder.
to dance.
Oh!
And the whole crowd starts to dance with the mayor. Woo! Yay!
And the childhood caught the mayor and getting wild.
And the childhood caught the mayor and they're getting wild. Woo! Woo! Mayor! Mayor! Mayor!
Mayor!
Mayor! Mayor! Mayor! Mayor! Woo! And the mayor flips back on stage.
And the Home Depot caught the mayor and starts getting wild.
And the Home Depot caught the mayor and they start getting wild and chanting, Mayor! 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 And the mayor's totally losing it. Yay! What a ride! Woo!
And the and the and the libraries caught the mayor.
And the library
And starts getting wild.
And they start getting wild. Yay! Mayor! 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 Mayor!
But the library throws her, including
And the library
throws her,
throws her up in the air.
including book.
Boys!
Books.
Books! They throw their
Yeah! And the whole girl caught the mayor.
And the whole girls caught the mayor. Yay! And they start saying.
And the game girl and the
game
bro
girls.
caught the mayor.
And the game girls and the game boys caught the mayor. Woo! Mayor! 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 Mayor!
Woo!
Yeah!
Start to stomp your feet.
And they start to stomp their feet. Woo! Yeah! Mayor! Mayor! Mayor!
And the worldwide nations caught the mayor.
And the whole world nation caught the mayor. Mayor! 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 Mayor!
And the mayor starts to dance with own nation.
And the mayor starts to dance with the whole nation. Woo! Yay!
And the north, south, east, west
And north,
caught
south,
the mayor
east,
and
west,
start
caught
getting
the mayor.
wild.
And they start to get wild. Yay! We got the mayor! 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 Woo!
And the candy boys caught the mayor.
And the candy girls and the candy boys caught the mayor. Woo! We got the mayor! Yay! Mayor! Mayor!
And the mayor starts to dance with your own sweet dance.
And the mayor starts to dance with his own sweet dance. Ooh. Okay. Woo!
And the senior citizens caught the mayor.
And the senior citizens caught the mayor.
Woo! Okay.
Woo! And then they take the mayor back on the.
And the kids caught the mayor.